Hi there guys, Sam here. Welcome back to another video. Join me once again my MK8 Golf R to talk a little bit around the Golf R, talk about the recent drag races of the car and a recent review as well that came out this week. And yeah, just to go through my thoughts around that. So yes, welcome back to another video. I hope everyone is all well. And yeah, pretty much some exciting news really with the Golf R. Finally in the UK, we've seen a little bit more kind of real life content of the car. I know it's kind of talked about quite a lot on my channel, and obviously being the successor to the car that I'm sitting in today, my MK7 Golf R in a manual format. And I'll kind of go through basically what those two videos kind of meant for the car, how it can kind of have an impression on you guys, and yeah, my thoughts around that. So first of all, the drag race. Now, quite simply, the car was up against an A35 AMG and the new BMW M135i. So there you go, bang on competitors, similar power, you know, that's who it's up against. It pretty much destroyed them in the standing start and the rolling start. If you haven't seen those videos, do check them out. I've posted them on my community just to give you guys the insight on the videos if you're not aware of them. So it's fast. To me, okay, if it's got like a revised gearbox and yes, it's got a little bit more power and torque, it wouldn't have won by that much margin if it was just, you know, 15 or 20 brake horsepower more than the previous model. It looks to me like it's probably packing a little bit more punch. And yeah, it flew and it won quite comprehensively. So yeah, think what you like about the car. It's quick and yeah, it's no fuss. It just sort of does it and gets on with it, which works very well as a road car. So that's really, really cool. The second video, which I thought was really good and someone that I followed quite a lot through reading Evo magazines, and particularly when I was looking for this car. And the guy who actually did this review, he had a Golf R in the manual actually, for a full year, drove it every single day, gave his thoughts on it, and he loved the car. And he actually said DSG suits it more, which I do get completely. But yeah, love the car, completely faultless. So he was a great person to sort of say, what's the MK8 Golf R like? And his feedback was essentially that it is better to drive, it's more adjustable, so it's a little bit more fun, which is great. You know, that's what you want. It's rapid, the gear changes, you know, the new gear levers, I know you can modify them and stuff to make them longer, so you've got longer paddles, so it's a little bit more, yeah, easier to use. Yeah, it was better, it was quicker, and it didn't seem to compromise on anything else of the daily stuff, which is great. That's what you want. That's what a Golf R is all about for me. I think the only negatives that this person kind of said was actually the steering didn't feel as good as the MK7. So I thought that was quite interesting, because for me, steering feel is something that's been completely lost, particularly ever since we lost hydraulic steering. You know, Porsche do a good job of doing the electric steering and getting it to work. But for me, like my previous car to this was a MK7 Fiesta ST, which had a fantastic chassis, really, really good chassis, you know, low curb weight, and you kind of place it where you wanted to. But the steering feel was useless. You know, it was so light, you couldn't really tell which direction the wheels were facing. And as a result, you'd sort of like, oh, is this going to work? And obviously the chassis would deal with it all, but you didn't really know what it was doing. Now, I know it doesn't quite work this way, but I'd certainly take a little bit less chassis balance and playfulness for a little bit more steering feel and control all day long. So that's interesting for MK7 or 7.5 owners, that someone is giving that sort of feedback, a journalist who's been in the game for, you know, decades. So that's quite interesting. So it's not all positive news. Didn't really mention the price in the review, or the fact that the infotainment is a little bit difficult to use. You know, yeah, it's just something people are going to have to get used to. You know, again, will there be really competitive lease deals on this? That's what made this car so successful. You know, so many people were able to get hold of it at such a low rate. And yeah, in an age where cars are very expensive, it's going to be quite tricky to find a good deal on it. Basically, you know, it is more expensive than the outgoing model. Yeah, so that's that. So I thought those two reviews were quite useful to see how fast the car is, see what it's going to be like to own. I think that's exactly what you want to know if you are going to buy the car, personally. What do I kind of think from their kind of thoughts? I'm kind of like, great, it seems like it's probably the one to beat now. It's the best hot hatch out there in my mind. Certainly when you're looking below the likes of the RS3 and the A45, which are obviously in a completely different price point, this is where you're going to go to. And a car that, you know, I took a while to justify having this car, but it's worked fine for me on my sort of daily commute. And that's everything to a hot hatch. It really, really is. It's got to be able to do the both sides, and this car can. Yeah, that's kind of sums it up. And again, it was quite positive feedback on just getting a lower spec model. You know, you don't have to go for everything. You don't have to go for the drift mode. You don't have to go for the 19-inch wheels. That was the sort of feedback from Dan in that video. And yeah, just basically save your money and get the lowest Golf R you can. And that was my thinking when I got this. You know, I'd got a 3-door manual, you know, and I was happy as anything with it. And you know, I got in there at a price that made sense to me. And yeah, I'm 4 years on and I'm still sitting in it today, so something worked right. And yeah, so I guess if you're watching this and you're part of my channel, and I'm massively appreciative of the community, you know, you guys feedback so much to me. I hopefully help you out with the content that I share. Yeah, one big happy family. That's what I think about it. And yeah, if you're coming from a Mark 7 or 7.5, should you upgrade? You know what? I think because so many people finance their cars and they're coming to the end of the finance deal or whatever, or you're coming to enter your lease deal, you might as well. You might as well go for it. It just seems like there's very little flaws to it. You're paying a little bit more, but that's about it. It just seems like it seems like a right car to go for. That's kind of what I would say. If you're in a position where you own your Mark 7, such as myself, or your 7.5, then it is, you know, it's still slightly less appealing because that ticket price is quite high. I'd like to think that even in a couple of months' time, 3-4 months' time, you would probably be able to find that car for sort of the low 30s, certainly like a base spec model, maybe an X Demonstrator or something. And maybe that might be the right point to kind of get into the car. Certainly don't rush. I know there's a lot of people who've ordered them, and there's a lot of people on my channel hopefully are going to share as well to me how they find the experience of the car, and you know, I can hope, yeah, I'll do videos on that as well in the future. But yeah, it's interesting to see. I thought there were 2 really good videos. I think they're probably the only videos you really need to watch, if I'm honest, if you're really considering getting one. I think you then need to make the decision yourself if you're gonna go for it. You know, well done if you've kind of gone for it blind and you've just sort of taken it on a bit of the spec sheet and, you know, and the odd trailer from VW and stuff, and you haven't test driven it. I think you're safe in the fact that it was always going to be a great car. I would always say drive it yourself, because how you feel and you find a car is going to be completely unique to how everyone else feels about the car. Simple as that. Just my thoughts on those kind of videos and my thoughts on the Golf 8R at this kind of stage, now that we're sort of heading into March. Hopefully we can get out more in the cars and enjoy them. And, you know, I'm looking forward to hopefully going to more sort of car related events. You know, I've been missing it massively. So yeah, hopefully that can all come back for us in the UK and obviously worldwide as well. And I think the worldwide appeal of the car is still there. It's still strong. It's still got that name and that brand, and it works. It really does work. And I think the people are basically everything. It's like just the same as my YouTube channel. You know, it's all about you guys. It's all about the viewer. It's not really about me. And it's about how you find an experience and how you how you're going to get on with a car, this type of car in your life. Because I think it's a big important decision to make. And I've always felt like going through the ownership of this car's helped people out. Other people have helped me out. It's the same with the Golf 8R really. And yeah, be interesting to see what it's like to drive on the road. But yeah, those reviews are pretty good, and I'll leave them in the description as well if you want to check those out. And yeah, enjoy as you watch. But listen, thank you so much for watching. Little chat just on my thoughts. Hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. I did do a video actually yesterday, which was a little bit around comparing it to the S3, and I think it's quite clear that the changes to the four-wheel drive, the Haldex system, are very much noticeable. It's not just a marketing thing. This is regardless of if you go for drift mode or not. This is just from a base Golf 8R. Yeah, they've really stepped it up a gear, whereas the old S3, it seems like it's just using the exact same architecture in its four-wheel drive as this car. So that does explain the difference in price. And yeah, that's generally why you would go for one over the other, in my opinion, if you really admire that sort of driving technique because of that new Haldex system. That's why you go for. So I thought I'd get in there just to explain from yesterday's video. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, fantastic rest of your week. Hope you enjoyed checking out the videos as well from other channels as well. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments of what you thought about them, what you think about the car. Are you ordering one? Have you cancelled it because you don't like it now? Or are you thinking of getting one in the future? You know, let me know your thoughts in the comments. It's a community channel. I think we're all here to help each other out, particularly during these challenging times. And yeah, I always read your comments and yeah, get back to you. But listen, thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers, guys.